Robinhood is constantly criticized by serious investors, yet I'm still using it. And honestly, it is the best investing app that I've ever touched. Now, here's the thing though, I also use Schwab and I use Fidelity. Not because I couldn't pick one though, but because after actually comparing all three side by side, I realized each one is genuinely the right tool for a specific job. So what I want to do in this video is give you the honest truth about all three. I'm not sponsored, like no sponsored rankings going on here. No, this one wins, no oversimplification to anything, just what the data is actually showing and the real differences that matter for your money. And I'm going to warn you up front, there are two things in this video that are going to surprise you. The first one involves a claim that people constantly make about Robinhood that is factually incorrect. I'm going to show you the real numbers. And the second involves the platform that everybody calls safe and serious as a choice, but there's a way that it's quietly costing you more money than anybody out there is talking about. If you've ever been confused about which brokerage to use or why some people swear by Robinhood while others treat it like a joke, well, stick with me here. By the end of this, you're gonna know exactly which one is right for you. Okay, real quick, let me set the stage for anybody that's newer to this. Now, Robinhood launched in 2013, and it was the app that blew up the brokerage industry by making stock trading free. Yeah, before Robinhood, you had to pay commission on them. Robinhood comes in. Now, not only Robinhood, the other platforms had to adapt, and now we have commission-free trades, clean UI. Basically, Robinhood was the app that was built for people who were intimidated by old school platforms. Charles Schwab, on the other hand, has been around since 1971. This is the institutional brokerage, right? 401k plans, full service wealth management, everything you can think of. When your employer sets up a retirement plan, there is a decent chance that Schwab's involved. Now, on the other side, Fidelity, they've been around the longest, since 1946. They're the biggest 401k provider in the country as well. And they also have what I believe is one of the best HSAs on the market, and we're going to get into that. Known for their deep research tools at low cost. So basically, if you want to wrap up all three, Robinhood is the newer, simpler disruptor. Then you've got Schwab and Fidelity as these established giants. Now I'm going to tell you why that framing matters and where all of this goes wrong. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room here. The number one reason that I hear people avoid Robinhood is this: it's not safe. And I get it. After the GameStop situation in 2021, when Robinhood had halted buy orders, a lot of people lost money. They thought they were going to make that money, so trust took a massive hit. That was real. And the anger behind that was also real. But here's where the conversation starts going off the rails. People took a legitimate complaint about Robinhood's business decisions and they turned it into something else. The idea that your money isn't actually protected on Robinhood in the way that it's protected like Schwab and Fidelity. That's just not true. Here are the facts behind it. All three brokerages, Robinhood, Schwab, and Fidelity, are FINRA members. All three are SIPC members. SIPC is the regulatory insurance that protects your brokerage account if your broker goes bankrupt. And all three have the exact same coverage: $500,000 per account with a $250,000 cash limit. That's not a coincidence. It is literally the law to operate in the space that they're in. So every SIPC member broker in the country carries the same baseline coverage. But here's where it gets pretty interesting. On top of that baseline, all three have what's called excessive SIPC coverage, extra insurance from private insurers. Fidelity has $1 billion in total excess SIPC coverage. Robinhood, the app that everybody says is risky, has $1 billion in total excess SIPC coverage. Those numbers are identical. Schwab's excess coverage, though, is lower. So when somebody tells you that Robinhood isn't as protected as the serious brokerages, ask them to show you the numbers, because the numbers say the opposite. Now, was the GameStop situation a legitimate problem? Yes. Robinhood halted buy orders because they ran out of capital to meet clearinghouse requirements. That's a real business failure. That's not a conspiracy behind any of this. They paid $65 million in fines to the SEC and FINRA to settle it. They've since rebuilt their balance sheet. And here's the part that nobody's really talking about. The people who got hurt by all of that were the traders. It wasn't investors. I want to be extremely direct because I know some people aren't going to like this, but GameStop at $400 a share was not an investment. It was a speculative bet on social media hype, and the people making it needed the stock to keep going up immediately to get out with the profit. That's trading. That's gambling on momentum. I personally didn't hold GameStop. I wouldn't, not because of Robinhood, because I don't put my money into something where I immediately need it to work out in the next 48 hours. That's not investing, that is speculation. If you had $10,000 in VOO on Robinhood during the GameStop debacle that went on, nothing happened to you. Your account was fine. The halt on a specific stock in a specific situation driven by undercapitalization was the reason why that happened. Your index fund portfolio was completely untouched. The anger, yes, again, it was real. The loss of trust for Robinhood as a platform is real as well. But if we want to be precise about this, it was a trading platform failing traders during a speculative frenzy. That's different from saying Robinhood isn't safe for investors. But protecting your money from broker bankruptcy, SIPC coverage, that's the same at all three. Now, the Robinhood isn't safe narrative that I keep hearing, it's not based off of facts. Okay, so let's get into the actual feature differences between the platforms because this is where the real choices live. The app experience, for one. I'm going to be direct. Robinhood has the best investing app that's ever been built. Not best for advanced traders, just best interface that exists. It's the most intuitive layout. It has the cleanest design. If you've never invested before and you open up all three apps on the same day, you will understand Robinhood in 10 minutes. Schwab and Fidelity will take you quite a bit longer. That matters because the best brokerages are the ones that you actually keep using. Now, the second thing to consider is research tools. This is where the table flips completely, okay? If you want deep research, analyst ratings, independent third-party reports, equity screeners, ETF comparison tools, Robinhood just doesn't compete in this category. Their tools are basic. They're trying to improve on it. Schwab and Fidelity are exceptional here, though. Schwab has Street Smart Edge and proprietary Schwab equity ratings. Fidelity has access to 20 or more independent research providers, including Morningstar. Now, if you're a research-heavy investor, Fidelity is probably the most complete platform that you can find without paying for extra premiums on it. Now, personally, I don't use any of these platforms for their built-in research tools as my primary source. For deeper stock analysis, earnings breakdown, and valuation work, I use other platforms. I use Seeking Alpha. I've literally built custom apps that tailor to me as an investor to help me with research. Now, with Seeking Alpha, that can aggregate analyst ratings, quant scores, independent research in a way that none of these brokerages tools match. So there's a link in the description if you want to check that out, but no pressure there. Also, I want to cover options trading fees because this is a quick one. Robinhood has $0 per contract. So if you're an options trader, you might want to consider that because Schwab and Fidelity is 65 cents per contract. Now, if you're trading a lot of options, that adds up pretty quick. So Robinhood has a real edge here for active position traders. Now I want to talk about 401k management, and Robinhood has no 401k right now, zero. It's purely a retail brokerage with Roth IRA. They're starting to expand some of the features, but it does not have 401k. Schwab and Fidelity are both excellent, and this is where I personally keep my old company 401k accounts. Schwab manages retirement plans for thousands of employers. If you have an old 401k floating around at a company that you left, rolling it into a Schwab or a Fidelity, it's really, really smooth. The infrastructure is built for it, okay? Then we want to talk about crypto. Robinhood wins here too because they've been in the crypto game a lot longer than the others. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and much more. Schwab has no direct crypto trading, only ETFs, and Fidelity has limited options. So if crypto is part of your strategy, Robinhood's your answer there. Now let's talk about fractional shares because all three of them have them now. Robinhood and Fidelity let you start with $1. Schwab limits some fractional shares to S&P 500 stocks with a $5 minimum. So there's a slight edge there to Robinhood and Fidelity for accessibility. All right, pay attention here because this is genuinely something that I think is underreported in the industry. Everybody calls Schwab the trusted, serious platform, and I get it. In a lot of ways, they've earned that reputation. But there is something that Schwab does that if you knew about it, I legitimately think you'd be frustrated because I was when I first heard about it. When you have uninvested cash sitting in your Schwab brokerage account, it goes into their default cash sweep. As of early 2026, that sweep is paying you approximately, drumroll, 0.45% annually. Not 4.5%. 0.45%. Now compare that to Fidelity. Fidelity's default cash sweep is a money market fund called SPAXX. It's paying approximately 4 to 4.5% right now. No subscription, no extra steps. Just that's what Fidelity does with your cash by default. Now let's make this real with all three. Okay, say you have $10,000 uninvested cash sitting in your account. Schwab's default sweep, that's $45 a year. At Fidelity's SPAXX, that is $400 $450 a year. And Robinhood standard accounts, they also earn almost nothing on uninvested cash by default. But if you have Robinhood Gold, which I'll talk about in a second here, it's their subscription tier that costs $5 a month. You get around 3.5% on uninvested cash. So upfront, if you're not looking to spend anything on it, it looks like Fidelity is a clear winner with that stuff in terms of money that's sitting there, and something that you want to just pay attention to. So in that ranking, Fidelity wins outright. No subscription, just free yield. Robinhood Gold is competitive though if you're already paying for gold for other reasons. Schwab's default is just, for lack of a better terms, terrible compared to those. That is a $350 difference between Schwab and Fidelity on money that's just sitting there. And that gap scales with your balance. Now, why does Schwab do this? Because they make money on the spread between what they earn on your cash and what they pay you. So it's legal, it's in the fine print that they have, but it's a significant hidden cost of using their platform. So listen, if you are a Schwab user right now, here's what you should do. You can manually move your uninvested cash into a money market fund like Schwab Value Advantage Money Fund, and you don't have to accept their default sweep. But the fact that the default is that low and that most people don't know how to change it, that's worth calling out. Schwab is a great platform in a lot of ways, but that's the real cost of using them that's hiding in plain sight. Okay, so here's something that I actually think Robinhood genuinely deserves credit for. If you remember how I said they pioneered free trades for the industry, this is another feature I think we'll see roll out onto other platforms soon, just so they can remain competitive. If you open a Roth IRA on Robinhood and subscribe to Robinhood Gold, which again costs $5 a month, they will match 3% of your annual IRA contributions. No other major brokerage is doing this. Schwab, zero match. Fidelity, zero match. So let me walk you through the math on this. In 2026, the maximum IRA contribution is $7,500 if you're under 50. 3% of $7,500 is $225. You're paying $60 a year for gold. So the net gain on that match, assuming that you max out your Roth IRA, is $165 a year. Guaranteed. Every year, that's $150 you are not getting anywhere else. And it's not just contributions. The match also applies to IRA transfers and 401k rollovers. So if you're moving a large balance, say $50,000, 3% is $1,500. That is a real number. Now, there is a catch that you need to know about. There is a 5-year vesting period on the matched funds. So if you withdraw from your Roth IRA before 5 years and you end up taking from the match that you receive, well, then you'll lose it. For the Roth IRA, you're building for retirement though, so you should be fine. You shouldn't be touching it anyways. But if you were thinking about opening an IRA just to grab the match and move on, the fine print matters there. Stay invested for 5 years and the match is all yours. For long-term retirement investing in a Roth IRA, this match is Robinhood's strongest card and no one else is playing it yet. Okay, so all of this in consideration, how do I think about the three? Who are they right for? All right, I think you need to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, are you a beginner? Do you want the best, simplest possible investing experience? 2, do you have a 401k that you need to manage or roll over? And 3, do you have an HSA or are you looking for the best cash yield with no fees? So question 1 comes down to Robinhood. If you're just getting started, that is. Now, if you want to open an account, buy some shares, not feel overwhelmed by the interface, if you want to invest in crypto alongside of your stocks, if you want a Roth IRA with 3% match that no one else is offering, well, then Robinhood is your answer. Yes, it's not the most powerful platform. It doesn't have the deepest research tools, but it is the most accessible by a wide margin. And accessibility is what actually gets people investing. Open an account through the link in the description. That is my affiliate link. In full disclosure, I use it. I can earn a small commission for it when you sign up, but I genuinely recommend it for people in this situation. Question 2 is Schwab, okay? If you have an old 401k that's sitting at a previous employer or your current employer uses Schwab for the company retirement plan, I think it's really just a great platform. The institutional infrastructure is real. Rolling over a 401k is smoother at Schwab than anywhere else in my opinion. And if you want to get into active options trading, Thinkorswim, which Schwab acquired from TD Ameritrade, is one of the most powerful trading platforms on the market. Just make sure you go and look at associated fees. Just do one thing if you're using Schwab. Manually move any uninvested cash out of the default sweep and into a money market fund. Don't leave $400 a year on the table. Okay, question 3 goes back to Fidelity. If you have an HSA, it's where I'm storing mine right now, or you're thinking about opening one, there is no competition. Fidelity is the only answer. Zero account fees, zero investment fees. You can invest from your first dollar. And I've been restricted by other platforms. I didn't realize you could invest everything that was in your HSA until I moved it into Fidelity. Okay, insane. Their cash sweep through SPAXX is paying around 4% right now, and there's no subscription required for that. And they've been ranked the best HSA by Morningstar for 6 years running. Fidelity is also the right choice if you want the deepest research tools without paying extra. And for passive investors building long-term retirement wealth and doing their own due diligence, Fidelity wins on fundamentals. Okay, so if you want my opinion on this, maybe you don't, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Robinhood is the best possible app, hands down, no questions asked. I've used all three. I still have all three on my phone to this day, and nothing is as clean or as intuitive as Robinhood. The reputation problem is mostly earned on poor business decisions, not whether your money is actually protected though, because it is, to the same level, even more than Schwab and actually Fidelity as the similar coverage, but I talked about that before. Schwab is the right home for institutional money, in my opinion, 401k rollovers, workplace retirement accounts, active trading. Just be aware of the cash yield situation and make sure that you fix it. Fidelity is the platform if you want research depth or as adding an HSA as part of your strategy, which I think is just super smart to do. The SPAXX default is just genuinely one of the best deals in the industry right now. So I use all three though, okay? Because I'm not looking for the best overall platform. I'm looking for the best platform for each specific job for me. And different platforms win at different jobs. That's the way that I'd frame this, and I'd encourage how you use it as well. Now, if you want to open a brokerage account or a Roth IRA and you want the simplest experience plus 3% contribution match, no other platform is offering. Again, Robinhood, link in the description. I'm going to link all the other brokerages that were mentioned, Schwab, Fidelity down there as well. And if this video helped you think more clearly about where your money actually lives, make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button. I drop videos on investing and personal finance every single week. And if you want to go deeper into building a Roth IRA from scratch, I've got a video right here that talks about mine. Thanks for checking out this video and have a great day.